So we have a huge shakeup in the top stocks that are being bought by us, the retail investors. And honestly, guys, this time around, it's just bonkers. I mean, we got incredible companies falling off the list, complete hype to the moon style stocks rocketing to the top, and just craziness all the way around. So let's discuss the good and the bad from a long-term buy and hold investor's perspective. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth off the hype, because that is exactly what you're going to get today, guys. And that's exactly what this channel right here is all about. Now, keep in mind, every time we go through this, these aren't my top stock picks, okay? These are the top 10 stocks that were bought by retail investors over the past month, okay? That right there is where this list comes from, and we'll sit down and we'll talk about each one individually. Obviously, if it was my list, it would look a little bit different. Actually, this time it would probably look a lot different, especially at the top of this list in regards to the top stocks being bought this month. And keep in mind, it's from a long-term buy and hold investor's perspective. You're looking to trade, I have no idea what the trade is in regards to all these different stocks, or which stock would be the best one to trade, or which one did we trade the most. My analysis of all these stocks is from a long-term buy and hold investor's perspective, not a trader's perspective. So maybe there's a trade there. I have no idea. Just kind of keep that in mind as we talk about these stocks. I'm not worried about what's going to happen over the next 2 months. I'm worried about what's going to happen over the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years into the future there in regards to analyzing these stocks. So just kind of keep that in mind as we go through them. All right, so let's talk about the stock. Before we get into all the stocks, let's talk about the stock that actually fell off the list, and that one would be Palantir. And pretty shocking, actually, given the fact that it was number 7 on the list last month. Now it's fallen completely off the list, kind of like Netflix did the month before. So, some great stocks that are beaten down, actually, relative to their all-time highs or recent 52-week highs, have fallen completely off the list in favor of some other stocks that honestly, maybe there's some truth there. But it seems like we bought some hype in place of those stocks there. Obviously, I like the fact that Palantir finally got on the list. I wish it would have been on the list way back when it was, obviously below 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. I mean, we didn't get into it till much later. But the fact that it's fallen off again, I'm kind of like, oh man, just right whenever it was getting cheap last month. Obviously, I know it's had a little bit of an uptick since then. But man, we got some really good pricing. And of course, it fell off the list. It's kind of one of those things that us as retail investors have fallen into over and over and over again. Obviously, I know some of you guys have been gobbling up both those stocks. So not a criticism all the way around. This is just all of us as retail investors as a whole. All right. So stock number 10 is Meta. You guys know I love Meta. Of course, it went on a discount last month. You could really pick up shares, I think, right under, right in the 550s or so. Great company, great business. Obviously, not only did they have a big CapEx spend, now they're obviously starting to sell some of their compute and some of the other things of that nature out there as well. Of course, you got to understand kind of how Meta works and understand that you got to ride the train, with Zuckerberg as well. Now, not everybody likes Zuck. Not everybody, agrees with their business model. That's okay. I understand that completely. But what you can't argue with is the financials, the fact that it's a cash printing machine, cash flow machine, an incredible business with an incredible future, more importantly, and they're right there at the forefront with AI with everybody else out there. So again, it's one. Great to see it on this list here. I kind of wish it would have been a little bit higher considering the cheap shares that we got last month, but hey, I'll take it. It's on the list. Meta's definitely a stock I'm going to continue to buy. So speaking of stocks at the forefront of the AI race, number 9 is Google. And you guys know I've loved Google for a long time. I don't like it at this price at all. I don't have any issues with their capital raises or anything else of that nature. I know there's a lot of noise around that sort of stuff. This is just the normal CapEx cycle. People need things to talk about, so they're going to criticize everything in regards to that. I don't have an issue with it at all. I just wish we would have been buying it last year, like we were right here on this channel. Obviously, in our group as well, we were piling into Google because you were just giving it for stupid valuation, ridiculously cheap. The narrative was ridiculously stupid. And so we continued to jump into it. It didn't even make this list until it already moved and it had its big move up. But nonetheless, it's still sticking strong and still not crazy overvalued or everything. We're just not getting those super cheap shares like we were last year. But great to see it on the list. It's a great business that's going to do very well moving forward. But let's take a look at the next stock. And that is AMD. Now, this is actually only the second month that it's on the list, and it highlights the problem we just talked about with Google, the fact that everybody's chasing it after the run. Nobody wanted any part of it when it was under $100. Now that it's run way up, and I do think it does have more legs to go on that run. I would agree there completely, but we are chasing after the big run happened. We missed out on those cheap shares. I still think it's a great business. Yes. Do I still think you can make a lot of money in this stock? Of course. It's a great company. Very well run all the way around. It's another one, though. I just wish we would have been on it much earlier here overall as a retail group. I know a lot of you guys right here on this channel were commenting down on it, way back when it was under $100 that you liked it. Obviously in our group, it was definitely a massive buy. Man, it seemed like for years. under $100 or so in regards to AMD there. But it's a great company. It's on the list. I can't complain at all. But coming in at number 7 is Microsoft, which is another great business. And this one is actually on a nice discount there. Absolutely great business. Great valuation as well. One of the cheapest prices you can ever get it in regards to Microsoft. They're just caught up in the whole SaaS apocalypse of whatever nonsense that's out there. That will quickly shift, and now it's magically something else will be the bad stock, bad sector, whatever. And everybody will want to be into this, that, or whatever the case is. So Microsoft will have its day again. Good to see us continuing to buy that stock en masse and keeping it on there. And especially with it getting cheaper, yeah, I'd like to see it climb up the list a little bit, but hey, it's right there solidly at number 7. But then that kind of baffles me as to why number 6 is there. And at number 6, it's Ford. Again, I'm not going to go into that one this time around. It's just one baffles me. I just shrug my shoulders and move right along there. I have no idea why we're buying Ford, especially over Microsoft at these valuations. I don't know. Is what it is. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Let's go right on to number 5. And that one is Amazon. You guys know this is one we've been buying for a long time there. It just gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper every single quarter. Now, of course, they are in their massive CapEx cycle, CapEx boom, whatever the case is, which actually Amazon does this every few years or so anyway. So it's not anything unusual for them. Just the spend obviously is going towards AI more so than infrastructure build out and everything else. Yes, they're still doing all those sort of things. Just that big bulk, that huge CapEx number that's out there is mainly for that AI spend there. But you guys know, I think it's a great business. The valuation is a really, really good valuation, one of the cheapest you've ever been able to get Amazon at. So great to see it on this list. Love seeing it right there. And it's definitely one I've been continuing to add on for a very, very long time now. It will have its day soon enough. But at number 4 is Apple. You guys know it's my favorite stock of all time. And the valuations come down okay. Am I excited about some of their AI things? Not really. Not right now. Obviously, they have a big CEO change. So, and I'm not worried about what he does first quarter or, even the first year really in regards to Apple. I think that's when we'll start seeing his vision play all the way out, and more importantly, their execution on that vision. But you guys know it's a great business model. Obviously, you get locked into that ecosystem, you can't get out. That's just facts with Apple. So I love the stock, great company, great financials. Yes, I wish they were doing more in the AI race, but Apple's MO for a long time has been, hey, we'll let other people figure it out, spend all the money, then we'll come in, Appleize it, and obviously charge a premium for it, and then make a ton of money on the back end there. So looks like that's the strategy they're going with so far. But now's where the craziness really starts. So at stock number 3 is SpaceX. This one I'm not surprised by at all. The hype train was so large. I knew a lot of people were going to get sucked into this bet. We've talked about IPOs right here on this channel before. Obviously in my group, we made, I think, 3 different videos on SpaceX. Obviously once the S1 came out, that's really the one that mattered there in regards to that. And there wasn't a whole heck of a lot there. You're not buying fundamentals, you're buying some crazy future in Mars or something of that nature. But what was concerning for me whenever it came down to SpaceX was not only the financials and obviously the disclosures of all the different businesses, some of them doing very well that I would want to absolutely be part of, some of the other ones that are absolute cash drains that aren't really improving, definitely not moving to justify the valuation on this sucker. We did a valuation on SpaceX, even giving it fake earnings. The valuation was just astronomical, the highest I've ever seen. And especially in a mega cap company, it was by far and away, light years ahead of Tesla in 2021. That's how high it was in regards to, and that was giving it earnings. Right now, it doesn't have any earnings. It's still negative there. And I believe it actually said they're going to be a money loser until 2035, I believe, were some of the projections that were put out there in regards to the folks that brought the IPO forward. So just a lot of things there that just kind of, for me, pointed to, I don't want anything to do with it at this price. Obviously, there's always a price where you can get interested in a company. But for me, this one right here is one baffled, but I'm not shocked to see it on the list at all in regards to us getting in there, because you do absolutely have a, very strong contingent of retail investors that want to be a part of anything that Elon does. Obviously, there's never been a more hyped IPO than SpaceX, and it delivered on that hype. But obviously, as we've seen what the stock has done since then, great first few days, and then after that, down, down, down. We'll see where it all ends up in the end, especially after the first earnings call and some other things of that nature. Obviously, for me, I'm completely out on that until I see multiple quarters worth of earnings. You can go back and study the history of IPOs, understand exactly how they work, and understand there's never been a time in the history of the stock market where, IPOs just gone to the moon and never come back down. You never got a chance to buy it at a great valuation, or in a lot of cases, just simply cheaper based on stock price. after that first few weeks in terms of the boom that happened. So super interesting stuff for sure. Absolutely. But it's one that I'm staying far away from for now. But coming in at number 2 is Tesla, which I found really interesting given the fact that they're kind of all together there. So I guess some folks were placing their bets on Tesla, some folks were placing their bets on SpaceX. Of course, there's all kinds of speculation as to when they're going to merge, how they're going to merge, if they're going to merge. I don't think anybody doubts that at some point in time they'll end up together in some way, shape, or form. But in regards to the speculation around it, there was a lot of speculation around all that talk, everything around it. Maybe that drove a lot of the buying there, but boy, did we ever see a lot of money come into both Tesla and SpaceX over the past month or so. Obviously, in regards to trading, I don't really think they've done a whole heck of a lot right now, but you guys know, long-term buy and hold investor here. Let's see where these stocks lay out 2 years, 4 years from now. Do you believe Tesla or SpaceX or Tesla and SpaceX together as one company are going to have, much higher revenues, much higher profit margins to be able to fix some of the business problems with both businesses that you can see right there in the S1 filing for SpaceX and of course with Tesla as well. That's just simply what the earnings are due. Obviously, we got earnings coming up for Tesla there. Some of the things look really, really nice in regards to deliveries and things of that nature. So hopefully they turn that ship around a little bit. We'll see there, but we were definitely out there buying that stock en masse, but not more than a number 1 stock, and that stock is Nvidia. Great business, great all the way around, reasonable valuation too for Nvidia. Obviously, a lot of the run has come. I don't know how much longer the chip cycle is going to last in regards to Nvidia there, but it's not going to end this year. So the fact you're getting reasonably priced shares, obviously with the growth rates and everything else that Nvidia is doing, being right there at the very, very front of everything in regards to AI, and not just hype AI, actually putting money to the bottom line AI, right? That right there is what matters. Not what the future could be 10 years from now, putting money in the pockets of their investors right now. It's exactly what Nvidia is doing. So great pick by you guys. And if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in real time, see my complete watch list with price targets, get all my buy and sell alerts in real time, get your free coaching, get your free courses. We got something super, super huge that I've already announced to my group. We will be announcing right here on the channel soon, coming just strictly for members of my group. So I may have left something special if you hung around this long. Check it out. It's the pinned comment down there. Get a membership where you get access to all that, plus everything new that we have coming, plus be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8 figure Discord out there. I put 2, 3, 4 videos a week out just in there that I don't put out anywhere else. There is so much involved in the group. Check out the pinned comment, see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.